Hello, sports movie fans, and welcome to Locker Room Flicks Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Sullivan. With me is my co-host, Frank Darling. Frank, how are you today?
Very good. Very good, yes.
Happy New Year's Eve.
You also.
I guess I could say that. How was everything with Christmas Eve? And I know Christmas Eve we hung out, Christmas Day. I know we didn't talk too much about Christmas
Day. It was nice.
Yet.
Yeah, it was nice. We ate and we had ham and stuffed shells. It was good. We had a good time. It was nice and quiet. Just the four. I think just the four of us and Chloe. That's all. And I think Johnny came over later. We went and seen Johnny or something, and his Anastasia's mom. It was nice, but it was good that night with you guys. It's nice seeing Stella. Nice seeing Stella where she's actually doing things now. She's pulling on stuff and playing with stuff.
With things. Yeah, I know. She's she's getting
nice.
bigger. She can sit up and you know how it is. They develop so fast.
I know.
But Christmas Eve was great. I always look forward to that meal.
Yeah.
It's one of the best. Yeah. We had lobsters and all sorts of fish, and then Christmas Day we hosted at my house.
Right. Okay.
We had Casey's brother and his family, and one of Casey's cousins come over with his kind of family. But it was still kind of low key. I cooked, but I didn't make anything too difficult. I made lasagna.
Right.
That came out pretty well. I made some meatballs for the kids, and I made chicken cutlets.
Nice.
So,
that's good. That's
can't
a nice
go wrong
way to
with
do
that.
No, you can't. That's for sure. Definitely.
Everything came out great. Hang back, and then that's pretty much it. What do you got planned for the night? Probably just hanging home.
Well, Linda's. I'm taking Linda later. She got to get her eyes checked a little bit. She got like a. I don't know. It's. I don't know. Not a pink eye, but something else. We don't know what it is. It's just we got to take her to the Minute Clinic. She probably needs some drops or something, but it's been driving her nuts for like 4 or 5 days. So. Yeah, that's all. But besides that, we'll go a tiny little bit of shopping, just a little bit, because I don't want to. Too many people out there. But basically, we're just hanging out tonight. Yeah, we'll cook tonight and stuff, and eat some ice cream, and watch some stuff. But nothing really special. But we'll just be taking out, watch the games, some of the games. I guess. But that's about it.
Yeah, I know.
Going on
a lot of games on. It's games on tonight.
Yeah, you got big games.
Yeah, we ended up going to went to Costco.
Okay.
A few days ago.
Yep.
Spent a fortune.
Real easy.
But again, you buy all sorts of shit there, and then and then we're actually going to go buy a few more groceries for kind of the week and stuff today, and then we're going to hang home, and I'm probably just going to make dinner for us all.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice steak.
Oh boy, that sounds good.
That's good. And did you see? I got Casey got for me, us, but for me, she got us a set of the HexClad frying pans.
Oh, really?
The ones that Gordon uses all the time.
HexClad ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Wow.
I only really used it really once so far, but I'm looking forward to using them. They're really nice.
That's gonna be
so
cool.
I got that, and then one of the other Christmas gifts I got which was cool. I wanted to get a Packers jersey, but I wasn't quite sure what number I wanted to get.
Right.
You know how it is with it. Or sometimes it's usually a revolving door with some of them guys.
I know.
So I kind of joking around, and I was like, they had a guy on the team a few years ago. I don't want to say a year or two ago. Guy's name was Chandon Sullivan.
Okay. Really? Get out of here.
So I was joking around. I was like, I should just buy that because, custom made with your name on it.
Oh, you can do anything you want. Yeah.
Well, it costs a lot. So this one, the guy's no longer on the team, so his jersey was cheaper. And I was like, it's kind of a no-brainer. I get a nice, good jersey with my name on it.
It's going to say Sullivan on it.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? You don't play on the team.
That's awesome.
So look out for.
They used to have a Darling that played for the Eagles.
Yeah. We got to look out for the Jets. So as soon as the Jets sign someone with Darling, wait for them to leave and then pull the trigger.
That's smart.
Even Bears, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I didn't think of that. Well, that's wild. That's good though.
But yeah, it was good.
How that worked out? No, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Other than that, I think that's about it. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into the movie?
No, I think we're good. Like I said, I enjoyed
Actually,
myself with you guys.
I should mention I want to give a good shout out to Casey's cousin Billy, who just got married to his fiancee Veronica. I know he's an avid listener.
Oh, nice! Nice. Congratulations.
We went to a wedding on Friday. It was their wedding. It was nice.
Right. Nice.
So that was always fun. But I know he listens. So congratulations, and we had a great time at the wedding. So
that's good. Good for him.
But yeah, we'll get into our last holiday movie, and then we're going back to the sports movies.
Yeah, the fun will begin again.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, break it down for me.
Here we go. The movie we watched, a classic, It's a Wonderful Life. It was released on January 7th, 1947. Opening weekend of $44,000. Remember, it's 1940. I think it was 46. Well, it was 47.
This came out before. I think this is before The Hustler, right? So this will be our oldest movie, I think.
Yes.
9.7
million worldwide with a $3 million budget. Directed by Frank Capra. We'll get more into him later. Starring James Stewart as George Bailey, Donna Reed as Mary Hatch, Lionel Barrymore as Mr. Potter, Thomas Mitchell as Uncle Billy, Henry Travers as Clarence, Beulah Bondi as Mrs. Bailey, Ward Bond as Bert, and Frank Phelan as Ernie. And once again, there's a lot of people in this. We'll get into them, but those are the main people of it. This is simple synopsis: an angel is sent from heaven to help a desperately frustrated businessman by showing him what life would have been if he had never existed. It was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, and it won a Golden Globe Award for Best Director.
I'm surprised. Do you know what came out that year?
Yes.
Do you know what else?
I do. I do know what came out. Miracle on 34th Street came out that year. And what's the other one it was that happened one night? There's another one. There's another movie that came out that I don't know if it won, but it beat all these in the Christmas movies. I forgot the name of it.
Wow.
Or not Christmas movies, but a movie.
But
so it was like it was like 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
What a powerhouse year.
And the runtime. Oh yeah. I didn't know Miracle 34th came out the same year. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
I think I got it listed down here somewhere. And runtime was 2 hours and 11 minutes, which is a good time for a movie. For this movie, especially. I watched it on DVD. You watched it on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
So
I think I have it on DVD too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we talked about that. So I don't know. I just threw it in there.
I think we watched it in color one year, and it wasn't the same. You didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have to. I have to.
It was different. I think everyone should watch it in color at one point because it puts a little bit of a new perspective on it. But
it does definitely.
But it was interesting. Yeah.
So now our best part of our podcast.
Yep.
Frank's 5 fun facts. Take it away, buddy. There's a lot here.
Yes,
there was. What you got?
There was a lot. But we'll dig right into it. So my fact number 1. The set for Bedford Falls was constructed in 2 months and was one of the largest sets that have ever been made for an American film. It covered 4 acres of RKO's Encino Ranch that included 75 stories of buildings, a main street, a factory district, and a large residential and slum area. Main Street was 300 yards long with 3 whole city blocks. So just to give you a little...
That's amazing. So they built that whole thing for the movie.
That's wild. I would have thought they would have just kind of did it in one of the Universal... I mean, I guess it's hard to think about what was around that time in 1940. I mean, Paramount had a pretty big studio, no?
Yeah, Paramount did. So you think those are facades then, most of those places, right? Yeah, they're probably facades.
Yeah, they're probably just fronts. Yeah.
They film them, the different scenes they've done in a set, whatever they do. Yeah, that's wild.
That had to be a lot of the production costs, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right, so fact number 2. I thought this was a very interesting fact. So Uncle Billy's Raven is named Jimmy the Raven, appeared in over 1,000 feature films, including every Capra film from You Can't Take It With You in 1938.
Right.
Jimmy the Crow. Let me see. Jimmy is. Oh, he's the crow that landed on the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Especially for that time, it's hard to find crows or any kind of. I don't know if we figured out whether Toto has been in. I'm sure Toto the dog back then. I'm sure he's been in a ton of other films too.
Yeah, Toto used to get I forgot what it was a week. He got $100 or $200. His owner got
it was
$200 a week or something.
It was a hell of a lot more than what the Munchkins got paid.
Yeah, it was. The dog got more money than them. Yeah. Toto. Yes. Wow, so that Raven's the same one. That's wild. Wow.
Crazy, huh? All right. So fact number 3: Lionel Barrymore convinced James Stewart to take the role of George, despite this feeling that he had, because I guess we just came from World War II.
Yes,
I guess
he did.
He fought.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. So I guess he wasn't going to take the role, but I guess Lionel convinced him. And then I know we briefly talked on this before. For anyone who doesn't know, Lionel Barrymore is the character that plays Mr. Potter. But he's also Drew Barrymore's great uncle, and he created the boom microphone. So
that's crazy, man.
We talked about it. I was like, how many years have you seen this movie and had no clue? I mean,
no. I never thought about it. I knew he was Lionel Barrymore, but I didn't put it together.
You didn't put 2 and 2 together.
No, I did not. Because there's a lot of the same names,
You're right. Yeah. And we don't realize too that a lot of times, especially with kid actors, I've come to realize that their family is in whether it be an actor, producer, director, their family has been involved, and so it all it does is it starts you out. Let's throw her in as a simple character, and it leads to look where she is now.
Yeah.
But
it's amazing. It really is.
Yep. Let's see. Fact number 4. Films made prior to this one used cornflakes painted white for the snow effect. But because the cornflakes were so loud, the dialogue had to be dubbed in later. Director Frank Capra wanted to record the sound live, so a new snow effect was developed using they call it foamite, a firefighting chemical, a soap, and a water. This mixture was to be pumped through a high-pressure wind machine to create the silent snow effect. 6,000 gallons of this new snow effect was used in the film. And the RKO Film Department received a Class 3 scientific award from the Academy for creating this new development of the snow. So
that's amazing. And I hate to say this, but was that 46%?
Yeah,
46. It was probably all cancer-ridden stuff.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
probably all
100%.
asbestos and garbage in there. You can imagine the stuff that was in that stuff, but whatever. That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty wild.
It's funny because the scene where he's in the water saving Clarence.
Yes.
You could just tell it's just like it's all soapy and.
Yeah, I know.
But again, for that time, I guess it looked better than cornflakes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I agree. It's amazing.
Yeah. And for my last fact, it's ranked as this movie was ranked number 1 as most inspirational movie of all time by the American Film Institute. So I just put it out there.
Yeah,
again, there's a lot.
Agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
But that's it's right there. So it's right there, definitely.
All right.
Those are excellent. Very good. That was very good. You picked through those pretty good.
Yeah, and again, I'm sure you saw there's a lot.
Yeah, I didn't. The Raven one I didn't say, so that was pretty cool. I would have never thought.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. Yeah.
I'm going to say, like I said, I know we normally talk about the first time we've seen this movie. I'm sure you probably can't remember the first time you've seen this movie because you've been watching it every year since
it's been a long
since
time.
you were born.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I know. I've been watching so many times. And we got to remember too. You were talking about the filming of it. Remember, it was filmed. It was like 90 degrees when they filmed this. A lot of those spots.
That was one of the other ones I was going to put. That it was super super hot.
When he's running down the street and running to the bridge. If you notice, if you watch it really closely, he's sweating, and he shouldn't be sweating. But if you look at him real close, he's sweating, and it's probably because it's 90 degrees out.
And he's dressed for 40.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now the actors in this, we could go over them 100 times, and these people are James Stewart, Donna Reed. That's Donna Reed. I didn't know that. That was her first. I don't know if you saw that. That was her first.
Yeah, that was her first film.
Yeah.
First thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Now you probably again, you're a little older than me, so you've probably seen a lot of the other, because like I said, other than Donna Reed and Jimmy Stewart, I don't even think I've really seen Donna Reed in much more than this. I'm sure I have.
Yeah. Well, she actually had the Donna Reed show, believe it or not. Yeah. So she had Donna Reed show in the 60s.
She drowned. Or no, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
She got young.
Right?
You're thinking young. Of Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood, I'm sorry.
Natalie Wood, drowned. She fell off the boat, supposedly. That's another story.
Allegedly.
Now, Ward Bond, Bert, that plays Bert, he was in a lot of... He was in a lot of Westerns. So you're asking me about these guys. He was in a lot of Westerns. John Wayne and those guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I remember him. And Lionel Barrymore, he's been in all kinds of stuff, too. He was in Westerns. He was in all kinds of different, movies of those days, the gangster movies and stuff. He's always somebody. But, yeah, I do remember. Uncle Billy, I really don't remember much, or Clarence. And the guy that plays Frank Phelan as Ernie, I remember him in some. But Ward Bond's a big Western guy.
Really?
That's what he did. He did a lot of more. He wasn't the top actor. He was just like a fill-in actor, like a B actor.
Yes, correct.
But that's all I know from that. So I don't know much more than you do, but I know that Ward Bond was a big actor in those movies, Westerns.
Yes.
Now, we know this. We were talking about this the other day. Jimmy Hawkins, Carol Coombs, and Carolyn Grimes are still alive from the children. They're the only ones left from the children. And Virginia Patton was the last adult to die in 2022 at the age of 97. That's the one that marries Bailey there, marries Harry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you there. I mean, that's all that's left. Yeah, so it's the three.
Yeah.
The three kids. Yeah, but I guess the other kid, I think I forgot his name. He was like 50 when he died. The other,
young.
The one other kid, I don't remember his name, but yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. So Jimmy Stewart pretty much carries.
Yes, he does.
Carries the movie, but he
definitely, yeah, he definitely.
He's in almost every scene.
That's a good point. You say that. Yeah, he is. He's carries the whole movie. Yeah.
As far as his movies,
I guess Henry Fonda.
I've seen Vertigo. I don't quite remember it.
What's his name? Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What's the other one? Rear Window. So we saw that one. I saw that one in high school. Actually,
did you really?
I had a film class.
Yeah.
And that was one of the movies I saw with him, and it was weird seeing him in a movie with color because I haven't seen much of his movies.
That's right. Yeah. It's funny. I don't know a lot of his movies, but I've seen him in a lot of movies. Let's put it that way. I don't remember all the names. Not that they were good or bad. I just don't think about it too much what the names are. He was in a movie with John Wayne. So like I said,
I mean, ultimately too is he, even as I said, you're a little older than me. He's still like, I mean, he was born in what? Let me see if I'm looking it up here. He was born in 1908, so he was old. He was older for an actor for you at the time, right?
Yes, he was. Yes, yeah, he was white haired when I saw him. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I mean on TV and stuff,
He died in 97 at the age of 89.
Yeah, so
but
that
I mean,
makes
you were
me 30 years old, 36. Yeah.
Yeah,
Died,
so that's like my age.
Yep. Yeah. So it is an old crew here. I mean, I didn't expect you to know pretty much anybody in this. So I like I said, I only know like 3 or 4 of them. That was it. So, but yeah,
yes,
it's definitely a classic.
But but we talked about like the difference between cast and writing. I think the writing for this movie, was amazing, and I think Jimmy Stewart knocks it out of the park and carries the movie.
Yeah, and Frank Capra, right? You mentioned that in the movie You Can't Take It With You. He also did It Happened One Night. These are all classics, man. These are like 8s on the IMDb's. They're older ones, like in the 30s. And Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I think actually Jimmy Stewart was in that too. So those are
really?
I just know the names of those, and I know they're classics just by the names. So, and that's only a few that he did. He was very talented, Frank Capra. Very talented.
Wow. Yeah, he was 94 when he died.
Yeah,
wow.
He had a good run, man. He had a good run. Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's so many things in this that it's a lot of fun. The gym floor and the gym floor opens.
I think that was a real. They were saying that was a real. That was purposely made. That's a real thing. I mean, it's. I mean, I'm sure a lot of schools have it now, where the gym floor opens up.
It was in Beverly Hills High School. I picked that up.
That's what it was.
And it was real, and this is what it says, and is still in regular use. So they still use it. Now they might have it all replenished and refixed.
Yeah.
But supposedly they still got it. That's insane, man. That's insane.
I mean, again, it's a great idea. Having it
super idea.
It saves a building.
Oh,
and I think we talked about it too when we saw each other. The kid that's in there is Alfalfa.
Very good. From the Little Rascals. Yeah.
The Little Rascals. Yeah, he's talking to Mary, and he just kind of like comes in and swoops her off her feet. It's funny rewatching this again. You're still picking up a few things here and there.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
Mary was she was in love with him since like day one.
Yep.
And she knew. Yeah, at the counter.
At the counter. That's good. That's cool the way he did it too, Capra. The way he makes it from young to older. I mean, it's just the whole movie is done so well. I mean, you got to fall in love with it, even if you've never seen it before. It's so well done. I like that part though. You're right. Yeah. Hey, how about that thing? I was trying to read up on it. The lighting thing. Hope I win $1 million. He hits the
that's
switch.
A cigar lighter, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. That's a. I don't know what it is. They never. No, it's. I don't know what it is. They've never really. On it? What do you call it? You got to read about it, and they always. It's kind of like I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Casey was asking me too. That has to be what it is because I mean, again, back then is they all were chain smokers and they smoked everywhere and anywhere. So that has to be what it is.
It must be, but maybe it doesn't light all the time, and that's the key of it. You get what I'm saying?
Maybe because he's praying for it to.
Yeah.
Let's talk, I guess, a little bit about the God aspect of this because the God now with times changing, and I'm kind of surprised they showed this movie. I mean, I know it's one of the most beloved Christmas movies. But I guess for me thinking, we talked a little bit about Angels in the Outfield with the whole aspect of the Angels, and they don't really have it on Disney Plus. It's interesting to hear that they still kind of play this movie around Christmas time, and
they do. Yeah, everybody plays it. Everybody
plays it.
Paramount has it. Hulu. You can go through anything you imagine. Mm-hmm. Peacock, Phoebe, all of them. They all got it. Yeah. I know what you're saying, but I think it's just a bit part in the beginning, I think, and they just don't really pay much attention to it. Watching the stars blinking and stuff.
I think that's part of the coolest part of the movie.
Me too. I should
have looked into how they kind of did that with the.
I know.
They're up in the galaxy, and the Big Dipper's talking to the Little Dipper.
Remember he says, "Oh yeah, it's that clockmaker guy."
Yeah, Joseph's talking to.
He played, and Clarence, the guy that played. I got his name. I just want to say the guy that played Clarence, Henry Travers. What a nice job he did with that. That was awesome. He really was good in that, man. That was really good. It was a good setup to do that. A guardian angel, basically. So
yeah.
I guess this was,
I like that whole story aspect of them kind of showing him. Like I said, he's in training, but they're showing him his life and how all the major like big plot points in George's life.
Yes. Yeah, I like that
this.
too.
You have to see this, so you know that this is what happens. And
yeah,
you know,
you're right. That's you're exactly what they did.
Yeah.
When about Harry, not you didn't save Harry, you weren't here, so those guys died in that transport. So things like that. You're right. I know the tree. Remember, what are you talking about? Nobody hit this tree. Murray hits this tree's been here for years. But you're right. Yeah. It brings them back to all those little spots. You don't even think about it, and it tells a story. Well, the new story, I should say. But yeah, I love.
And a lot of. I'm sorry to interrupt you one more time. A lot of shows have like spoofed this, not spoofed it, but like have done like I'm trying to think off the top of my head is like. The cartoon, the Rugrats.
Yes, I used to watch it all the time. Maria.
Yeah, they did a whole episode where they spoofed this, where they play that the kid Chucky was never born.
Really?
Yes, it's a dead playoff of and I know if we Google it and I know there's tons of movies that do playoffs of this movie,
Yeah, wow. And they did make a newer version of Marlo Thomas that played, this is a long time ago, of that girl. She played the same scenario where she...
Really?
She didn't think she... Whatever. I saw it once. It was really good. And, same thing. She wasn't born, and she went to go see her brother in the garage, and brother didn't know who she was because she didn't have a sister. He didn't have a sister because she never was born, so... Yeah, they did it once. They tried doing it. I guess they were going to try to make a remake with the kids. They were going to.
I thought I saw that too,
but that never happened though. Never happened. But be a tough one.
Well, and again, if it's going to be a remake, it's got to be almost word for word.
Yeah, it does.
Remake it.
Yep.
And it's got to be exactly what it is, But go ahead.
That's why the Wizard of Oz. No, that was it. No, the Wizard of Oz. That's why they'll never touch the Wizard of Oz.
Well, they've tried. They've tried to. They've made. Well, I should say, they only have tried to. They've done prequels.
Yeah, they've done. Yeah, which was actually pretty good.
And I enjoyed some of them too. Like he had the one with James Franco.
Oh, that's excellent. That's really yeah.
That was I mean, Wicked's a whole different story. That's Broadway, so that's still doing pretty well. I haven't seen it, but
yeah.
And I'm trying to think. There was another. There was another one, Dorothy. I think that was like a weird type of.
Yep, you're right.
Show because again, they're different. They're not remakes. They're I guess what's the word for reimaginings? Because like he also had the one with Michael Jackson,
The Wiz.
They're
playing off it basically. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's a movie you can do it. I think it's a movie you can do it.
Yeah.
I think you can do it with that movie. I'm making another one. That's why I said when they made West Side Story again, but Spielberg did it to a T. I mean, I didn't think anybody could do it and make it just as good, and I thought it was excellent. So,
yes. Correct.
But it's always tricky when you're doing that. Very tricky because you could get ruined by doing something like that. But
yes,
yeah. And Uncle Billy was an idiot, so we'll throw that in there. He cost him. Nice old man, but
you know what? He should have been fired.
Yeah.
As soon as and you don't have to fire him.
I know.
But the guy wears ties on this thing to remind himself, and you're going to give him all of your money to deposit to the bank? I mean,
that was a lot of money, man. What was it, like $8,000?
That's a lot of money for right now. Like $8,000. If I lose $8,000, I mean, yeah, we should Google that. Like how much $8,000? I'm gonna have to look that up.
You know how many years I didn't notice all the things on his fingers?
He's got a lot.
Noticed them. I know, but I never noticed them till like the last 10 years that he had them on there. I didn't know.
Because this year this takes place in 1946.
Yeah, 46. Yeah, so you're talking 76 years ago, 77 years ago. Check it out. It's got to be some crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. It's $130,000.
Wow. Even today, that's a lot of money to be deposited. Really?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He put it in a little envelope.
Yeah. Well, he's funny. He's like, when after the wedding, he's like, you can take that one off because you missed that wedding. Not even like he should like keep like a notepad or something of like it just he's got all these ties on it that could literally be for anything.
Hey, now I don't know if I'm sure you saw it. I think it was Rocky 3 or Rocky 4. When he fights the Russian, Paulie does the same thing. I don't know if you remember Paulie in there.
I feel like I've definitely
It's the same thing. He was in charge of the money. Didn't know what he was doing. Rocky was broke. He went with the wrong people and they lost everything. It was very similar.
Really?
Very similar. Really? I'm sure they made it in the movie like that because of that. To make it very similar to what I'm sure there's been hundreds of movies that people have screwed up, but I think of Paulie in that movie. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Mr. Gowers, how about Mr. Gowers? Huh?
Before we go, we're talking about Uncle Billy. Did the scene? I don't know if you know about it, but the scene where he's drunk when Harry comes home,
right,
and he walks off, and he's like. And you hear that big loud or crash. Do you know about anything about that? So there was a guy, I guess, from the production dropped a set of tray of food or something, or it's something where that. And so like you hear that sound, that was someone from production, and they just kept it in. I just kind of rolled with it. It's perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And another funny thing again, maybe if you remember for next year, if you look at Jimmy Stewart's face, it looks like a genuine, like, laugh reaction to it. Like, it looks, you know what I mean? It's almost like he's trying to hold it and not break character.
I gotta look at that.
But look at it next time. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, he was probably just supposed to walk off.
Yeah. And you hear it. And it's...
Yeah, Linda, I think, told me about that. Didn't tell me how it happened, but she told me about that. That really, that noise wasn't planned. That's what she said.
Yes.
By any
Correct.
means. Oh, one other thing, the Donna Reed thing. Donna Reed, the one. She knocked out the glass. The glass piece.
Yeah, she did that on First Shot. I think so. First Shot.
She used to play ball. Well, she wasn't supposed to, though. They were supposed to shoot it out. They were going to have a marksman shoot out the window. But I guess they gave her a chance. She was a baseball player. I guess she was a really good ball player, high school player. And she did it in one shot. That's a hell of a throw there. That's a hell of a throw.
Yeah. Well, and even, too, just the judge... Forget. I mean, I could throw it and hit the house short, but to hit the window. I got to ask you, too. Are you a Team Mary or a Team Violet? Who you...
I had that.
Violet?
I had Violet Bick was hot. That's exactly what I put down in here.
I think I had to ask.
She was super hot. For back then, she was super hot, man. She really was.
She was. I got to be honest. You're right. She was. I think I'm choosing Mary. I don't know. I got a thing for brunettes. I've come to realize that I'm more a brunette type of guy. But
she was only 57 when she died.
Donna Reed?
Violet. No.
Violet?
Yeah,
wow, she's young too.
Yeah, she's young. And not for nothing, Pa Bailey, he died 2 years later. That was it.
Did he really?
Yeah. He was 73. That's good for back then, but yeah, he died 2 years later. So a lot of these people, there's a lot of people in the show that were old already. I mean, they were already in their 60s and 70s in the show.
So, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just looking really... Violet, she had stomach cancer.
Is that what she had?
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible.
That sucks.
She had breast cancer, I guess. I don't know. She had a bunch of cancers.
Yeah.
But I tell you, that's got to be this movie with the scenes with his father. This is one of the most, like, I don't know, heart-wrenching, with the whole movie. It's just because the father plays such a great, he's such a good person with helping people and getting people along.
Yeah.
And,
well, what he says, what he says to him, your father was had a heart of gold, but he wasn't a businessman. He wasn't. He was, if you shoot pool, remember he says, and he's right.
If you shoot pool with a friend, and
he's right.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
He wasn't wrong.
No,
But
he wasn't. I agree totally.
They're talking about Ernie and his loan. He's like, well, I can judge for his character because you know him.
Yeah.
He doesn't mean shit.
The taxi driver that sits on his brain.
Sits on his ass all day. Well, that's the whole thing of his job is he's got to taxi people around.
They were good too. They were good.
What,
too.
Bert and Ernie?
Yeah, they were.
I had to do a Google search on whether Sesame Street, because that's what I always think of. Bert and Ernie.
Yes.
Sesame Street, and
no doubt about
it. But there was just a coincidence. No kind of significant thing where they didn't tie it in. Just happened to work out.
Yeah,
they were building him a house worth $5,000. Can you imagine?
Oh, really?
Ernie, yeah. You can't even make a down payment with $5,000.
No.
Sad, huh?
No, you're right. And Mr. Gower, good.
We're talking about the. I want to just kind of
talk
about the father a little more.
Yeah.
It's just the scene where he dies, and then it's like they basically gave them knowing the way Peter Bailey raised George Bailey, because again they're almost the same character.
Yes, that's true. That's a good point. You're right. Yeah, they are. That's
like,
good. You're right.
They gave him like, okay, we'll keep it going, but you got to take over for it. You got to take over for him. Yeah, but
you got to stay.
He didn't.
He
make
never
much
gets
money,
to leave.
Though.
No, but he never gets to leave there.
That's kind of like, I want to say, not the biggest thing about this whole movie is you feel so bad for him because, he wants to go to college, but they don't have any money, so he stays home, works.
Yeah. Harry goes.
Yeah. Now it's his turn to go to college. He doesn't leave. He doesn't go to college.
Well, they have the bank thing. Remember, they have to call it the bank, so that was another thing. I learned a lot of stuff about that. The run, I didn't know what a run was.
I want to talk about it in a little bit, but and then he never goes on his trip to Europe.
No, never does. No.
But you feel bad for him, but again, he does truly have a wonderful life.
I know it's.
So what was the bank?
Really
the
does.
bank
he doesn't realize
with the run. You want to describe that, because I always kind of was confused. So they're the regular, because they're just a loan office.
Yeah,
correct?
And what the bank does is they call, like when he says it looks like it's everything is a run. I'm not from that era, but basically what this, the bank calls your loans to make sure you have enough money in the bank.
Yeah,
and they didn't. Well, they kind of did, but they didn't. They had to take all their money because say they owe. I'm just using an example. Say they owed them $20,000. I don't know, and you had $20,000 in there. Well, they take all your money, but as soon as everybody finds that out, they have no money in the bank for those people that were there. That's right. What happened. And then he was.
So that's why they're all trying to withdraw the money out.
He was going to give him 50 cents on the dollar. Potter, the crook that he is. And he plays a great part, Leon Burr.
100%. No, you're
I
right.
hated him the whole time.
100%.
But yeah, that's what it basically is. So they called the loan. So all those loans they have out, they have to make. Now, if he had $25,000 in there, it wouldn't have mattered. They give him the $20,000 and then I don't know what they do today. It's all electronic today anyway. So,
you think that was probably just because of the because that was right during before the Great Depression, right? It had to be because of the war coming up too.
No, it was after the Depression. Depression was 1929, so it was about.
You're right. I'm sorry.
It was about. Well, remember, it's based on. Oh no! Hang on. Well, we forget what part it is because he wasn't in the army or nothing. I don't know, but I think it was a little bit after the Depression, probably in the 30s. Because remember, it's based on 1919 to 1945 because he's a kid and then he grows up.
Yes.
So, but I think that was.
It's right before the war because it was because I don't think Harry was.
No, Harry had.
I remember. Yeah, I don't think he could go on that.
Yeah, there's so many parts in that movie. You got Lionel Barrymore. He's the guy that tells you whether you can go in, 4A and 2B, and he was working.
So he was ahead of the draft board.
Yes, he was ahead of the draft.
So he basically decided who was going where.
Pretty much, yeah.
So do you think maybe he took the Bailey? Well, again, he couldn't take George.
No,
you think he maybe would have?
George had the year.
You think he would have put George into a rough
Oh yeah, he got rid of George. I like that.
You never know.
That's a good scenario. You're right. Harry was no big deal to him. So, but George was the one. Yeah, but because of his ear, they wouldn't take
he couldn't go.
Yeah, there's a lot of people don't realize that disabilities and stuff. They don't want you. You're not used to them.
Good point.
Not,
I mean,
yeah. So
well, think about it too. Like, I mean, that's part of the whole thing with war is an explosion goes off. I mean, he'd be dead. I mean, the amount of explosions with his ear. I mean, granted, he couldn't hear anything half the time, but something goes off in that other ear, you're screwed. You can't hear anything. You're deaf.
Yeah.
Did they not have hearing aids back then, or no?
I don't know. They might have had probably something, not, maybe. I doubt it. Yeah. They used to have the, what do you call it? I don't know if you knew that. They used to have the horns.
Oh, yeah. You go like this?
I ain't kidding you. Yeah. They used to have a horn. They used to stick in your ear.
That's funny.
What'd you say? Frank, they had all kinds of stuff.
That's great.
Oh, you're That's
great. Me. I know. All right, let's talk. You want to talk about Mr. Gower?
Well, I only did because of the two scenes that I thought were.
Yes.
The first scene when he's young, and he knew he was giving him poison when the prescription, and he tried to save him, and he slaps. That's pretty violent for back then too, for a kid.
I saw that. I guess he really did like slap him really good to the point where his ear was bleeding. And I guess eventually he did apologize after, and they kind of hugged it out like it was okay with the kid actor.
Oh, you mean that really happened?
Mm-hmm.
No, that really happened? His ear bled? Really?
I think, I believe so.
I didn't know that. Well, back then they didn't, back then it's a lot different back then. They get away with it. You did that today, you'd have a suit on your hands.
No, you have a lawsuit.
And then the one where Gower's in the, he's in the bar.
At the end, he's the old drunk.
Yeah, that's they. You
feel bad.
I know. I felt bad for him. You're a friend to him, then you're locked up 19 years. So, Mr. Gower. He never ages Mr. Gower, and neither does Mr. Potter.
Oh, no, of course not.
They never age. They're younger in the end.
Younger, yeah.
That's the only thing me and Linda always cracked up. Mr. Potter looked better in the end than he did in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. That's a drugstore / ice cream parlor.
Yeah.
That he's at.
I want to go to one of those.
I was like, there's nothing like an old fashioned ice cream. They don't. I mean, they have them around here and there, but they're not. I don't know. It just seems different.
You don't have a drugstore though in the ice cream parlor. Well, maybe there is some. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right. I never even thought of that. That's crazy.
Let me see here. What else we got here?
Well, let's just do this real quick. I just wanted to shout out. We didn't want to forget everybody. A shout out to Harry Bailey, played by Todd Cams. Mr. Gower, played by H.B. Warner. And Mr. Martini, played by... I like Mr. Martini. Played by Bill Edmonds. Yeah, Nick. I just don't want to forget them. I know they're all gone, but I figured I didn't want to... A lot of good actors in that movie, so, I mean, I didn't want to... It's so many in there. It's and they're part of the movie. They make the movie a little bit, so...
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what other scenes we can talk about here. Talked about the pool scene.
Oh, the scene in
this movie.
The scene in the when they have the little mini honeymoon with the rain coming down in the house that they're going to eventually live in. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that.
I know. She's pretty nifty as she rigged that up with the chickens on the rotisserie or on the fire.
That was pretty good.
I told Casey, I was like, why can't you do that? You can figure that out, right?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a nice scene there. That was a really nice
scene. Well, she fixed the whole house up too. I was like, good for her.
Yeah.
No YouTube to look up how to do.
No, not back then. Yeah.
Just did it.
Not back then. No. Yep.
Let's talk about the scene with. When Potter, he offers him a job, right? Let's talk about that scene.
That's
so
a
I
good
guess
scene.
If you can't beat him, join him, right? So he tries to hire him. Did you notice the chair, right? So Potter's up, and then the chair, all the other so if you're sitting across from him,
that's right. Yeah,
it's a power. It's a power thing. He makes you feel like you're, I'm not saying you're nothing, but you're kind of, you're below him.
I didn't understand that scene that you just told me. I know. I said, what kind
That's
of
what it
cheer
is.
is this? And he's a big guy,
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart was like 6'2", I think. He was a big
Oh, no,
guy.
he's tall. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing, is he always makes you feel like you're below him.
Yep.
And that's with him. And I mean, he's off from. So I had so $20,000 a year, I think, to now, or I think it was like $326,000 a year or something like that.
Guess what? I would have took it.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
have said, make it 5 years and buy me a house that I don't have to pay for ever again. You get yourself a deal. See you later. I would have took it in a heartbeat. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, and especially with him having
Sorry.
5 kids. It's like, but you see the scene where he he's shaking his hand, and he's like, wait a minute, it's like shaking hands with the devil, right?
Yes, it is.
And he knew right away that, like, you know what? Now this is. He says it. He said, "Potter's not selling; Potter's buying," and that's what he's basically doing, is buying everything that he owns it. It's under his power.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope. Hey, you remember the skinny guy that was in there with the glasses, and he shows Potter. He says
he's talking about
he's building all those. I wish too bad I couldn't find. I know his name, but he's building all these little things for half the cost that whatever they cost. That guy there, he passed away about 5 years ago. He was 105.
Really?
He lived to be 105.
Good for you figuring that out, because I've seen him in that
because
again.
he's been in all kinds of movies, even up to
Really?
today, up in the 80s and 90s. He was in movies still. But yeah, he was like 105 when he died. Yeah, he lived forever. This guy. I seen him in a movie one time. I said, "There's no way this guy's alive," but it was him.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, what they were doing is the houses say they were worth $2,000. I'm just using an example. $2,000. He was selling them for $1,000, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But that was the key. But somebody can afford those. So Potter would have sold them for $4. That's the difference. I mean, I understood what Potter was saying. I get it.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, and he says it. He's like, you want these people to wait and save, and he's like, save for what? He's like, by the time they save that type of money, they'll be dead.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
They'll be dead. No, you're right.
Just, it's good with credit and loans and stuff like that, because we're able to. I'm able to just bought a house for God knows how much. I don't want to say it, but it's. I mean, for me to save the money for the down payment, I would never be able to save that much money.
No, not in a million years. You wouldn't.
Not for we do pretty well for ourselves, but we're an average Joe.
I know. I agree. You have to be a lawyer or a doctor or something to be able to do
I know.
that.
But it's the other thing is too, is like the more money you make, the more you spend.
You're exactly right. I agree.
You see all these NFL players and people that go bankrupt because they spend it.
Yeah, I know. They do. They don't think nothing of it. Everybody does.
Yeah. There was a cool thing where Mary says when he's selling the house to Martini, and she goes, here's a loaf of bread that you never know hungry, salt that you'll live forever and you'll always have flavor, and wine for joy and prosperity. I thought that was a cool little thing.
That's a nice thing, yeah. Linda knew that by heart, actually. She knew it before watching that movie, yeah.
I know. She's seen this movie. I know.
She's good at that stuff. But that's such a nice scene there, with all the kids running. That's what I like, too. All the kids running around playing outside.
And the chickens.
Yeah, there's no Nintendo or PlayStation, none of that stuff. It's all playing outside. I remember all that stuff playing outside. It was a lot of fun. My friends all the time.
Oh, yeah, I know. Different time now.
Yeah. I guess it was based on a short story and booklet. I didn't know this. The Greatest Gift.
I did.
Yeah, you see
I
that?
did see that, too.
It's self-published by Philip Van Dorenstern in 1943, which itself is loosely based on, I figured it was, the 1843 Charles Dickens novel, A Christmas Carol. Very similar. To some extent it is. Some part.
No, I got you.
But yeah. But it's, like I said, this movie was...
It hits all the marks, I think. It got a little comedy in it.
It does.
it's very sad at some points because you know the scene at the end where what's his face has lost all that money.
Yeah, I know.
And he goes home, and you know all the kids are going nuts.
I know. They don't know.
And
they have no
you see the look on his face when he's holding. Yeah. I think it's Tommy.
Tommy, yeah.
And I mean, he just absolutely just loses it.
Oh, I know.
Because again, he's up. He's going to go to jail. He's going to lose everything. It's
and he would have.
Would've. Especially back then. Like there was no help or nothing like that. He would have went to jail. And
I like Potter. He says, "Yeah, I'll call the police for you. Don't worry."
Yeah, it's just depressing when you see him. Like, you know, he's there and he goes drinking on Christmas Eve at the bar by himself, and
he punches everybody. He punches. Come on, I'll hit you again. He hits the. How about when he goes to the place and he knows everybody? Don't you guys think maybe there's something? He knows all your names.
Something wrong.
And you don't know him? Something's not right here.
Yeah. No, I know.
Hey, how about when they go in the bar, Clarence and him? I'll take a mulled wine, please.
Yeah, you're looking at him crazy. Yeah, you remember the King Queens episode where they're watching this movie? He's like,
watching this?
They're watching. Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. And Arthur, because he'd never seen the movie, and he's like, you know what? He's like, without George Bailey, he's like, I wish he was never born. Look at it. The town's hopping. It's a swinging time. you know.
It was. Casinos and stuff.
Casinos.
They got all the strip clubs.
The girls, and I know.
Well, that's the way it would have been. No doubt about it. Potter, he made money. He was just the money. He just wanted to make money. He didn't care about nothing else.
That's true.
He didn't care about the people. Yeah.
So how many times did you cry during this movie? Because we're getting close to the end, and the end.
Well, the end I
kind of gets us all. Yeah.
The end I cry. Mm-hmm. I've actually leave the room sometimes, so I don't have to see.
Really?
It. Yeah, it's very all the people coming in.
It's heartwarming. It's emotional, and you get. And it's funny too because I'm watching this. We watched this downstairs in Irene's room.
Right.
We made a fire going, and we're watching. This was.
Oh my God.
We watched it the day before New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Because I knew we weren't going to have enough time to watch New Year's Eve, and I'm looking at. I'm filming my clip, and I look over at the end, and I see my mother-in-law Irene's crying, Casey's crying, I'm crying. The end is just it's so heartwarming.
It is. It is. Well, like I said, I cry because all his friends bringing everything in. They're all. Violet comes back, gives him the money. I'll stay here, George. And I broke at the jukebox. Mm-hmm. It's such a good. And the guy's ripping the things up. It's just a
feel good.
It's just a feel good. And they play the New York. Well, they play the. You forget too.
Old Lang
Syne. Yeah, they play Old Lang Syne. Yeah. But,
yeah. What's the final little quote? We'll leave it on this. What's the final quote at the end? No man is a failure.
If he has
right.
If he
has friends.
His friends, yeah.
His friends.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. And the thing rings, and that was cool. It's very well done.
Yeah, very well done.
I'm sorry, Frank Capra, he knocked it out of the park. He was a very talented director. People don't realize it because it's so many years ago, but he did so many good, great movies.
Yeah. All right, let's go into the ratings then. So you want to talk about anything else, or because we pretty much
we covered a lot. Let me see. Let me just see if I had anything.
It's a long movie too.
Let's see here. Pretty much everything here I had. We covered everything. Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to look for my notes too. Anything, the little things, The
only thing I did like you said, I like the scenes with no George Bailey. We're right on with what would happen if he didn't exist. That's the only thing I wrote that down myself. I just thought it was all set up like you said. Everything, we went back to everything that was there.
You're right. And again, we don't realize ourselves how many lives we've touched, and there's been plenty of people we've encountered in our own lives, and you don't realize how much of a whether it's a good or a bad,
One person, it's all it takes. It's just one person.
The ripple effect.
Like one person. Like like my nephew that he played professional high life for a while, and he met Sandy that way, his wife. Now think about it. If Allie's not here on this earth, he don't meet Sandy. Sandy doesn't have 2 kids, and then you can go on and on and on. It's just one person. That's all it takes. You know, it's amazing.
It's kind of like briefly, we'll get quick into it. You ever see the movie The Butterfly Effect?
I don't know
with
if
Ashton Kutcher.
I don't know if I saw it. No,
That's
I
a wild
understand
movie
it.
too.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know
You
if
get
I
what
saw
I'm
it.
saying. That's a wild movie too, and that's a cool movie to watch. But it shows you the same thing where it's the lives you affect, whether you're good or bad. It's crazy when you think about it like that. But
Oh yeah, I know.
anyways, all right. So let's get into the ratings. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right.
IMDb gave it an 8.6.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Which is pretty spot on.
Yeah, well, spot on for them, not for me. But
For them, yeah.
Yeah, the cast was excellent. The director's superb. All the scenes are awesome for that time. And I'm having a tough time here. Sorry, people. All right, it's the morning. But no, I liked everything about the movie. The time was good. It was 2 hours and 11 minutes. It could probably went another half hour. It still would have been good. Potter was great. Lyle Barrymore. So they gave it an 8.6 IMDb. I'm going to give it, this will be my highest one all year long. I'm going to give it a 9.5. Sorry. I think it's one of the best movies I've ever seen for Christmas. For that type of movie, definitely.
Yes.
So that's what I'm giving it, 9.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I almost went 10, but
you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll do that. I'm gonna give it a 10. You know, and no one can stop me. Okay.
Hey, I like that.
I'm gonna for all the same reasons you said with the cast. Jimmy Stewart, you know, knocks. There's one quick scene where when all the stuff's going down, and you see with it, it's like the one shot of his face.
Yeah.
And he just looks like he's just like his face in it. The acting's great.
Oh yeah.
He's wonderful. The story is excellent. And I think this movie has definitely got a lot of nostalgia for me.
No doubt about it.
My mother loved this movie, so every time I watch it, I think of her. So that's why I'm going to go give it a 10. It checks all the boxes.
You know what? I'm going to go with you. I'll give you a 10 too. Double 10 there. Not too many 10s on the shows we listen to.
And again, to the point where like it's a long movie, but it could have gone on for another half an hour, and I think it would be okay.
Oh yeah, sure could have. Definitely. They could have thrown some more scenes in there. I don't know what they cut out of it. I never looked into that. I'm sure they cut stuff out.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to watch it. You're going to watch it next year.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
You're going to watch it. We try to watch this as close to Christmas Eve as possible. We kind of like because it's our favorite.
And I'm going to cry again.
Yep. You already know that. Yep. It's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we're going back to our next movie that we're gonna watch. That's why I want to start it off with kind of like a newer movie, and it kind of goes along with the flow.
Yeah.
A basketball movie was our next one. So we had the movie Air, which is about it's about Michael Jordan and the shoe that they kind of came out with it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I know.
That's why I asked if you've seen these movies because these movies just came out
I know
last
about
year.
them. I know about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Shooting Star, which is about kind of LeBron James, and I think it's mostly about the guys he played with that in high school.
Okay.
So actually, Air won. You get a lot of votes, but Air won. I think 8-3 or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's a little tough this time of year right now. We got to get back into it.
Everyone's.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do Air.
We'll do Air. I believe that is on. I know it's on one of the streaming services. So I made sure. Amazon. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's got Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, Viola Davis. So Chris Tucker. It's got a few.
Yeah,
stars.
It's got a good crew in it, so it should be good.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so we'll do that. I'll watch
Yep.
that. And we do Thursday. We're gonna do it again. Thursday. Is that all
Yeah,
right?
we'll shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll shoot for Thursday. Should be everything. No holiday is coming up, so
Nah.
we should be back
Holidays
into the
are
normal
over.
grind. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're over. It's different.
They're over.
Anything else you wanna touch base on? And
No, that's it. Just you and Casey have a happy New Year, and
yep, Happy New Year to you and Linda, and to all of our fans out there. Wish everyone a happy, safe New Year.
okay.
All right, that's the ball game.